Hey y'all.
Everybody gotta mute your device. Everybody mute your devices.
Yeah, calm down.
Absolutely. Yes, your mom. Mute your device completely. Is that your word? Oh. At least we know you're not talking all this time.
Yes.
That is for sure. Mute your mic. Mute your computer. Ready to, yeah.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Lights. How many of y'all are excited to be here today? I don't know about.
Asking us?
Yeah, hold up. I'm like, we about to start a whole film over and start all.
So excited.
We about to start all over again because they're not excited to be. I want to welcome you all to Saturday Night Light. This is the place where we all want to bring you to an online show that is designed to engage with young adults and women in discussing real life situations We want to live a life that is dedicated to God and purpose. So we have created this platform so we can kind of get together, we can chat, we can talk about some things that sometimes are not talked about in ministry, sometimes not talked about even at home or with your parents or even with your girlfriends. We created that place where we can break free from sin consciousness to God consciousness to understand what God's word says. So we thank you all for watching us tonight. I want to go around the room and I want to all of our hosts, our co-hosts, to introduce themselves. First off, I am Renata Hollins. What are we gonna do today? This week, my favorite food is, my favorite fruit is mango. So we're gonna do fruits today.
I don't eat fruit. I swear.
You know somebody always gotta become combative. All right.
You about to get canceled, really?
Started and canceled at the same.
I am. I'm Jonette, or JoJo, whichever one. And as of right now, my favorite fruit is mango.
Okay.
They're really good.
Let me find out we got the same fruit coming.
My name is Rajay. Club name Rajizi. And
That always one.
my favorite fruit is a strawberry, a sweet strawberry.
Okay, I'm a sweet strawberry.
My name is Janelle. My favorite fruit is banana. I can eat a banana every day.
Sweet bananas only.
Is banana sweet? I wouldn't count bananas to be sweet at all.
So y'all eat them like brand new.
Yeah, sometimes.
No, you gotta wait till they get a little yellow.
I need some freckles on a banana before I eat it.
No, I don't want my banana to be brown.
That's
They
what
talking about they the ones that
Okay.
y'all finish. Y'all.
My name is Daisha. My favorite fruit, pineapples.
Okay.
Oh man, I should have said pineapples. I've eaten pineapples a lot.
Don't be a follower, be a leader.
I'm following. I like
You
pineapples.
like that? It's okay for being led right. All right, y'all know last week we talked about Christian dating and we talked about marriage and we kind of just touched on a couple of things, but we did say we were going to revisit and start to break stuff down this week and ask some questions that you all have shared, and also some of them have asked but they haven't quite been answered. So we want to roll into that and continue on Christian dating. And I want to tell y'all, I'm not looking for I understand some answers are cute,
Very cute.
but some places we've been in the mud and we just gotta be real. We've been in the trenches. We've been in the valleys that y'all be singing about. And sometimes y'all just want to tell about the rooftop, but y'all don't want to tell and share about the valley moments. But it's in sharing that and being open that people really begin to know that they're not alone. They're not crazy. These emotions and feelings and things that they have been experiencing are normal. But how do we control these things? How do we go forward? What should we be looking for? What should we not do? What should we run from? Somebody, you know what, you hosting today, I'm passing you.
No, please don't.
Yeah, it's coming. So I hope all of you all are paying attention because your time, like I said, your time is coming where you will be hosting, you will run. I will answer questions and not be the one asking the question. So make sure you're taking notes so you are not prepared. Okay. So once again, we thank you all your guests. If you have any questions as we go throughout the show, I want you to drop them in a comment. If it's something private, go to the DM, drop it, and we will go deeper on that question and expound to see what God's view is in regards to that. But we will also share some moments in our lives where we may have sometimes not knew the word and not knowing the word, we may have went the wrong direction. And then sometimes we knew better, y'all. I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah.
We knew better,
And you still did it.
but we still did it. Okay? So, y'all see? Y'all see? It is the one that, no, I'm playing. I'm just playing. But we're gonna get ready, and I want to come through, and I just want to pose a question because we live in a world that continuously tell us worldviews on what it is for romance. It tells us all of these different forms of dating. I mean, did you know that there's different type casual dating, friends dating, like why y'all got it?
Cook-up culture, they
Cook
got
up.
all this stuff.
So that's basically what casual dating is. Like that's
not
the
even
hookup
dating,
scene.
though.
It's not dating.
Somebody connect us right quick before we.
What?
Oh, a phone.
You got your phone
Oh,
charged?
Keep talking somebody while we do a little administrative task over here.
I mean, it's just a lot
We
with
can't
the
hear
whole. You can hear me. It's a lot with the whole dating scene because, like, you
Used to be
can
the
find
small
people organically, you can find people on social media, the apps, and then you got, oh, I want to be exclusive, or I want to be casual, I want to see this many people, and it's a lot. It's
So being
upside down.
it's a lot upside down. So that's what I was kind of looking up and researching dating. I'm like, I didn't know they had so many different types of dating.
yes, and it's so confusing sometimes.
So how you know when you dating somebody what type of dating? Hey y'all up close and personal.
Honestly,
They gonna have to tell me something.
yeah. And if we're being completely honest here, when online dating was a really big scene, that's something you'll find out immediately in conversation or in the bio of a person. You know, nobody wants their time to play with. So they let it be known if they want to learn long term, if they want short term, if they want casual, and usually casual means we are
Right,
and it's a fling.
right.
What's the fling?
One time thing, you know.
Sometimes it's a one night stand. Sometimes it's sometimes
Don't get me started on
the FWB's friend with benefits. You know.
Hold up, is somebody taking notes? Cause I'm on a.
What you doing?
I'm switching. I'm sorry. The camera view switched for a minute. I know.
No, but we.
I'm fixing it. Fixing it. But continue to talk. Somebody write these different styles of dating down.
Really written down?
I don't know if my eyes and hand could comprehend. I don't know comprehend. I'm just kidding. Because I have to learn it.
She's just joking.
We're not joking. Okay, but what's the FYB? 4-year boy?
Technical difference. No.
Friends with benefits?
Friends with benefits, FWB.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah. So that's all under casual dating.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm gonna flip us right quick. I don't know why we didn't flip over in this chat. But let me rotate us back. See if I can get us back in the right direction.
Let me get my cookbook.
I was like, where did it go? I was like, I guess I'm with it.
Are y'all seeing us sideways? Comment if you're seeing us sideways.
Yeah, sideways.
I don't know why we saying. Y'all, I'm trying.
I see
You see me? Oh, yeah. You see me?
up
Like,
close and personal.
hey, y'all.
She got glitter
They don't know how to act, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Pray with us. Pray with me.
Just flip your phone.
I don't want to do that. I like the wide view, but I feel like I don't really have a choice.
upside down.
That's because we should have grown. No,
But do you see everybody?
Hold up. I'm trying to see. Just give me a second so we can get in there.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Excuse us,
Not
y'all.
really difficult. Hold up.
Now we upside down.
Now we upside down.
Like, what do you mean?
See, I need it this way. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know where it was just being a little
I think it's
sensitive.
because you knocked against it and stuff. So
Okay, we all good in here?
yeah, but you could.
Thank you all for your patience. Hey.
Hold up. Don't move yet.
Don't move.
Okay. Can you see all
There
those
we go.
things?
We're back.
We on
All right, there you go.
We back?
We're back.
Okay, we are back, y'all. So I heard all kind of different types of dating, and do I want to ask about this casual dating?
No, you don't.
Oh no, no story times. Nobody wants to share.
All I said was, under casual dating, it's levels to it, you know?
It's levels.
It's
You
levels
gotta
to casual dating.
Okay.
Because
So-
that's why it makes it confusing.
You
Okay.
got multiple things. You got friends with benefits.
We
You
got
got
flings. We got casual
one
dating. I'm not gonna act like I don't know what some of these is. I just want to get you all to begin to engage and talk. So y'all, my first question is, when you hear the word dating, what comes to mind? We start to you, Daisha.
It's a preparation for marriage.
Okay. All right. Nelly, what's your idea of dating? This right here. There's always one or two.
well. I like what you said, but I also, whenever I think about dating, I think about like, I don't know, we just gotta suss each other out.
Yeah, getting to know each other.
Yeah, I need to know some stuff about you, and I need to tell you some stuff about me, and then we go decide if we want to go somewhere with this.
Okay. All right. So yours is, more for the sake of, this is the person I'm looking to see if you're married. In kind of the same area, you kind of assessing to see who this person is. Is this that?
Like, what you about?
What you about? What about you, Rajay? What do you think your definition of dating?
I have a really bad definition of dating because I honestly.
Can you talk to us and not you?
Yeah, my bad. I don't understand dating. It's something I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't understand it, but I do. It's just the word and the definition.
So if you had to define it, what would it be?
I would say prefer marriage, just to not have to explain what my mind is saying.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
explain what your mind.
Just explain or just say what your mind is saying. That's why we're here. Because somebody else may feel the same way you feel. They feel lost in the shuffle. They feel. Okay.
And then I think the reason why I really don't know what dating is because I really never dated. So, but no, seriously, I really can't. I don't know. My mind just I can't understand it, but I do. I just can't understand it firsthand.
Okay.
I understand it more with seeing other people do it. With me firsthand, it's hard for me to see it.
Okay. All right.
Pass it on.
Okay, we're passing it on.
That's how I feel.
Oh wow!
Can somebody type that in the comments?
How do you make that sound?
How do you make that?
Spell that.
I think that might be an emoji. Just put up the emoji. The spit emoji. All right.
Oh no, it's not that bad though.
It's not that bad.
It's not.
You sure? Because that sounds like.
No, seriously.
That's
No,
not like,
I did that because from experience, first off, these in the past few years, I'm 25, so in the last 10 years, dating wasn't dating. It was like over talking to each other, and talking can mean a couple of different things. That's why people have to explain what they mean. That's why we go through the whole casual dating and what you want long term and what you want short term. That's why we have those conversations. Because when you talk about dating, now thinking about dating, it's like I don't want my time wasted. So I'm dating to marry, so I'm getting to know someone. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you're dating more than one person. It's not dating just one person. Dating can be multiple people unless it's monogamous.
So you're a player. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm just playing. So you're gay, but you got to think based off of her definition. Her ideal of dating would be considered as you're a player. But then her idea of dating, your definitions are slightly different because in Western society or over here, we majority of them do one spouse. Other places, their culture where they have multiple spouses. But here in America, we marry one spouse. That's they have others that are in poly relation, different with more. But majority of it is a man and a woman. So having an understanding of that, when you're dating for marriage, you're thinking of one person.
Mm-hmm.
So dating multiple people, are you going to marry multiple people? Or so that when she said and explained with dating, like even when you begin the process of dating, if you don't understand, one, you don't know a definition of what the word is, but what is that person idea of dating? Because remember I told y'all last week, I asked all of my kids what was dating. And one was like, oh, you hold hands. And the other one, somebody you go out to movies and you might kiss them and stuff like that. So everybody's definition is different. So if you have a person that really never dated, but you have the idea, or you don't know that definition, that dating is getting to know someone. But dating word, even if you look at the Hebrew root of it, meaning like to be intimate, like it's a word that's very intimate. You know what I'm saying? And intimacy doesn't always mean sexual. Mm-hmm. Sometimes intimate is just getting to know you and to me and to you. Same thing we do in God, we're knowing each other, that time, spending that time, that intimacy. But some people you're saying I want to get to know my spouse. And another individual is just saying their idea of dating is kissing, sex, movie. So when you go in, you become overwhelmed because your definition of dating is different. So a lot of people go into a relationship saying, well, I want to see, number one, if you want children, that'd be one of the things that you want, do you want to be married? But you never really discuss what dating is. Mm-hmm. And what their definition of dating is, because if they're not, they're trying to go to 1 to 10, and you trying to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and to get to know that individual, to see if that's a person who you want to spend the rest of your life. Just being candid, I went to this is when I was in Dallas, to DBU, Dallas Baptist University, and I went to the Potter's House, to Potter's House, TD Jakes, Sarah Jakes, love you, honor you. But they had a class for youth, and they were showing, and it wasn't called dating, it was called courting. Mm-hmm. And it was talking about the importance of your time and the importance of that other people's time. Like, our time is important. So if I am dating you and I know you don't I want a person that wants kids, or I have a good relationship with my family. If I'm dating you and you, know you don't want kids, and you don't have a good relationship with your mom or women in general, well, I'm not going to waste your time. I don't care how fine, how cute, how good you smell. I'm not going to waste that time with you, because my time, it means something. It's worth it. They say money is the biggest commodity, but it's actually time, because you can never get it back. So why would I spend 5, 10 years with somebody that doesn't have the characteristics or the traits that I see in a husband, if that's how it goes? So they was teaching us dating was a thing that we court. You court, you see a person, and then that courting period is important, because when you're in love, it's smoke in the room. You know what I'm saying? All of this smoke. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's so nice. I see him. He's so bow-legged. Them eyes. Y'all know them eyes. Girl, did you see them jeans? Them skin. Y'all know what y'all look for. Y'all know what y'all look for. And
You already know. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That's even, girl.
Got some Christian stuff.
We're not going to do this. Topic 5, not topic 2. But I hope you understand that class really gave me an insight that was like none other, because it made me realize that and not only that, not to be selfish. Why would I waste his time if I know that I'm not the type of woman he's looking for? Mm-hmm. Why would I continue? Because God has a purpose for him, and God has a purpose for me. So no, I'm not going to waste that time. So when I go into dating, having that question, what does dating look like to you? Because some people, as soon as you say that word, nope.
Run.
Like, who we dating? Hold up, what just happened? He's like, why are you into my personal zone?
You didn't even ask me. Like,
right. Oh, cooties. The song "Why" I said, "Give me 50 feet." With the whole purpose that song was written. But you get what I'm saying? So, like Rajay, it was crazy because Rajay, What's your name? Razizi?
Razizi.
Razizi on the show. I'm not.
Razizi.
I'm not. Razizi on the show. You said you didn't know the definition of dating, but last week you were one of the first ones that said, I desire to be married. So so in preparation, do you know what to ask for? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what do you do? Do you court? Do you date? You know what I'm saying? How do you even approach this thing?
Yeah, I was writing down, because I did have an idea of dating, I did have that definition, but when I was in a relationship, I was like, oh, so that's what that is. Oh, that's that moment. Oh, this is what it looks like. And I won't lie, like I allow unhealthy behaviors to shape my view of things. And so I was like, what's the root? What was the limitation there? Because I watched so many movies, I've seen so many dates with movies, you know, the laughter, the fun, like doing random cheap thrills. I had those, but at the same time, I was limited in those moments unknowingly, which is why I was like, yo, like I don't want this to grow. I don't want a relationship to grow in that. And it would be unfair for me to get to level 5 and be like, nah, we're not doing it this way anymore. Instead of starting at level 1 saying, nah, this isn't the way we're doing it. So,
So would you say if you're not knowing, could you possibly be leading someone on?
Exactly. And that's the thing. Because I didn't know, I wasn't leading them on, they were leading me on. And I allowed the definition of dating to shape around that. And the reason why I couldn't understand it was because me and their idea and the idea that I saw and allowed to grow, they were just conflicting. And it brought confusion. And I'm not going to let my mind dwell on it and think about it and go deeper. And so when I sat down,
let you in, Miss Ferguson. You tap in.
I was like, oh.
If you tap in, she said you would.
Tap in.
That's married 49, 50 years.
Oh my God! I don't know if I want to be married. She just went back.
We want some of that grace. But so what you're saying is you initially had an idea, but because of what you went through in another dating experience, now you're not unsure. So you're in the process of reset. What does that mean? Like, what does it now mean to be dating? Because I thought I knew, but in this world of the 2025 dating, casual dating, best, which I said, friends with benefits, all of these different things like that. How do I now maneuver in a world where these things are seen as normal, and sometimes if I don't live up to or I don't do this, I'm sometimes seen as an outcast or not even dated sometimes because I'm not what some people would even say. Not saying that people who do that are easy, but in some say. I'm sorry. My mind just went through. Not saying that individuals that do that are easy, but I know in my experience, especially when in high school or in college and those different things, that dating was a lot, it became very complicated. Especially when you're in high school. If you're in high school, tag us, like, if you're somebody that's in high school that is dating, it became really complicated. And I just saw a lot of things that my friends personally went through when they began to date in school, but not just date in school, they began to have sex in high school. I've seen them have kids. I've seen some of them who were very strong emotionally become not so strong emotionally or struggle in different areas. I've saw, even from the area of some of them getting STDs. People pass, there's so much that they don't necessarily, it don't come with a booklet. And this is a subject that back then that parents weren't really sitting down. They had sex education, but sex education never dealt with the spiritual or emotional side of what happens when this is done. Like, this person will tell, how will I feel emotionally? You're going to tell me how to protect myself from the baby, but some people didn't get a baby, but still they left with something. carrying away emotionally, carrying a piece of who that person was, the brokenness, the loneliness that you didn't feel before, the anxiety, the desire, the need to want someone and feel if you don't have someone that you are not valued or worthy. Sexual education never talked about that. It only talked about if you do this, baby. Thanks. Baby. It talks about baby.
Kiss and you get pregnant. That's it.
You hold hands, you better not hold his hand, you're gonna get pregnant. Now, I don't know, some of them early on in the 50s, they grew up to some stuff like that. You look at them and you're like no, that's because it was such a false net because they tried to make us afraid instead of teaching us and helping us to understand this is why you don't want to necessarily do this, because sex in general is something that's given by God. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So how can we make a beautiful thing corrupt? And then if we play around with it too much in the world, when we're finally legally in a good place and right to have it, we're in the place of bitterness, brokenness. So we even struggle with our spouse because of something that we did or happened from a former relationship.
Yeah, people running these days. They're running. They get married, and on the wedding night, they like, oh, wait a minute.
I saw this one
They
person
wasn't doing that.
It was like,
Hold on.
it was like at the honeymoon and the horn sounded. He was like, yes.
So can you imagine that? Like, you have waited for that moment, but because of your trauma, your husband can't really, or your wife in some cases, for those males who are watching, y'all are welcome to watch. You know, they now have to get this, not just the stick, but the brokenness of what happened in previous relationships. You know what I mean? Well, y'all not married yet, so y'all
Look, let me tell you something.
But y'all can
I
still
will heal. Okay? I will be healed.
Did you have to pull that up and read it? So I'm like, figure out why you had to pick up your phone. I mean, if that's your affirmation, yes, go for it. So she picked up her phone like, what did I say? I am healed. Like she had to read that. Hey, whatever works. But the reason that I said that is because when you look at that, the connection of a relationship, it says, like in the Hebrew sense, it talks about intimacy. And I want to look at Genesis 4:1 right quick because
I love Genesis. And I love Genesis 4.
that was not pick it up more. That's the saying. If you can't find it, pick it up more.
4:9.
Yes, and it said, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. So,
Hold on.
I thought you said 9. This is
no, 4, Genesis 4:1.
4:1. Okay.
4:1.
Okay, 4:9. Where did I get 9 from?
She never said 9.
She never said 9.
Oh, Jonelle said 9.
Oh, my bad.
What?
I'm thinking about food. I need a timer.
Maybe we
Probably
need
a
snack
timer somewhere, somebody closing. And
Chick-fil-A, they gonna be closed tomorrow.
But I'm going to read that again. It said, Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived. That knowing is an intimacy, is to know them. Because it didn't say they had sex and she conceived, but you know what happens in order to have sex to conceive. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, unless you married. And that only happened from what I know.
Unless you married.
Unless you married.
Yeah.
Because she was a virgin. She married a child.
The conversation. I hope y'all can hear these side conversations because they hilarious. That's what I'm hearing. So I just need a hotter mic. I got it. I need a hotter mic so y'all can hear these side.
You know,
They say the good stuff for the whispers. They call this the whispers on Friday night. That's what we're gonna say, and we're gonna hide mics.
I can only imagine what we probably do. Get mics up, and we just over here having a little side conversation and saying our little smart
we should do
comments.
mics up at
The
church.
smart comments, no.
It's because that's where the truth is revealed in. Like to know him. So that person, when you're with that person, to be intimate is to know them. So even when you think of dating and becoming in a relationships, automatically off the top, that's a
What you about to say? Because when he started smiling like that.
no,
Yes,
I'm smiling
it made me nervous.
because I don't want you to think that it's not a part of being in a relationship.
What?
Intimacy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't want you to be like, well, we gonna smile and have fun and go to the movies. You as you grow and become, and you begin to become married with that person, there will be deeper forms of intimacy where things will be conceived. And I'm not just talking about dreams and visions.
Well, we thank the Lord for growth and maturity, because at one point I ain't want all that. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to be intimate that way.
I'm running.
Well, no, you talking about that way?
Yeah, I didn't want to get to know you on a deeper personal level. I don't want you to know me like that. That's just how it was. But I had a shield up too, so you know, emotionally I was blocked off. So I was like, I don't want you to get to know me.
Okay, so as you begin to, you dated someone, that person has proposed to you. Why did you? I don't understand.
She skipped a step.
What are you doing?
To get married, you gotta get
You date so you get proposed to, or you country code.
That would be so good. I just wish y'all would be.
Yes, whoever the Lord has for me, y'all better tell me, Princess Tiana.
Princess and the Frog.
Wait, why are we saying Princess and Frog?
Because that's the thing she wants.
For your wedding?
Evangeline has to be kind when I get proposed to.
Oh, we gotta play Evangeline all the time so that it's a surprise.
It's gonna be a
It's gonna
surprise
be a
anyway.
As soon as you hear that song, you're
Exactly.
That's
what time it is.
I play it all the time. Y'all need to start playing this.
You gotta get up there.
She said get on y'all Zoom. Okay?
Get on her level. That's what she said. Get on her level.
Yes, y'all need to play it.
So if you have, because you got to remember, sometimes they made being intimate so taboo that when you get into a relationship, now when you're married with your spouse, you feel like you're in an awkward. You feel like you're in an awkward place because they made it a bad. They made it a bad thing.
It's so cool.
So what's cool? I'm sorry.
It's so cool how like the enemy be trying, because like what's sent to this world, no, like it's all throughout the Bible. Everything was made good. Like we put fear and we get scared about things. But when I really started like studying my word, it felt so weird. It felt so bad. Like, oh my gosh, I'm studying. Like, and so I was like in the relationship, and I'm just like, why do you feel bad? And I'm like, I have to really think about stuff. Oh, it's like, oh, you're good. It's okay to hold hands. Oh, it's okay to sit next to it. It's okay to be around.
If you struggling to hold hands, if we struggling to hold hands.
Wait, no, don't touch me. Wait, no, you can touch me. I'm ready. No, I'm not ready.
You know, we never held fingers, so.
Look at my mom. She looking like side mic. We need a side camera and side mic because it's the side view that's going on. But what I'm doing is I'm really trying to break down the ideas of dating and the ideas. I mean, even what the world is saying, what's good, what's bad, because of the perversion in the world. You know, even when we're right before God, it can still leave us walking in a stench. Like, but we actually have all right to have access to this because we've done what the will of God says. But why do I still feel like I'm captive to this is sin or this is wrong for me to hug someone or to, to show a person that you appreciate them? I mean, some of y'all, even for example, some of you all still struggle with hugs. And it's not even in an area of intimacy, it's just in an area of love. Because of your experience of love and receiving love, sometimes in a bad way, sometimes trauma, sometimes some people have been raped, molestation, all of these different things affect us. What's a normal emotion, what's a normal thing for somebody to come up to embrace you because of your experience, the enemy has perverted it, even your thought in your mind, because what a man thinketh, so is he. So that thought, you are captive to a thought. So if you're captive to a thought with the idea of somebody showing affection, you think when your spouse begins to show another level of affection and intimacy that you won't if you don't deal with that, you don't think it will become an issue as you begin to enter into your marriage. That's why we have to do, even in the dating, we have to do the work. When I'm going into dating and I'm asking somebody, what does dating mean to you? Because dating to me is courting. That means that I want to get to know you. My objective is marriage, to be with you. So that means there's some things, but I have to be willing to stick to the standards that God has given me. Because some of us could begin to compromise because he's cute. He smell, and he smelled good.
Like yours just walk past
And she got the scent. Now, did y'all hear the scent? Now you gonna have some man next week walking past you because they done heard you say the scent. Right here.
That's
You
good.
was
She got
definitely the
side
cat.
eye
Come on,
going
daughter.
over there.
We on the dating. We tackling this dating part right now. We hadn't entered into the marriage, but just the definition of, because we had one just realizing that the world has different definitions for dating, so you gotta know that front off. Some people is mean as soon as you dating is my. I had a dude tell me I belong to him. I know you lying.
Is it the world or is it the nature of where you came from? Because your generation of grandparents, great grandparents, there always was a thing that, you don't talk to boys, or you don't, you got that stigmatization that they put in you way back then. It's been done down from generation to generation. You don't touch parts, you don't talk parts, you don't do this.
You gonna get pregnant if you kiss
You
them.
don't tell you all that crazy
You
stuff.
just talk about
Babies
it.
come from
Confirm.
cabbage patches, all that stuff. You know that they planted in your head.
How much cabbage?
She said babies come out of cabbage patch. Now that
I ain't never heard that
I
one.
ain't heard that one before.
That's a new one.
That's a new one.
Back there in the days, where you ask, because you ask questions to your parents back in the days, and your parents, because they never wanted you to know any of that stuff. They came up with all these crazy stuff.
Wisdom.
So it just passed down from one generation to the next generation.
You be like, that's not true. My
Yes.
mama told me. No, for real. And you got one kid at school that's like, well, actually, my mama told me this. And they're like, that's not how that works. And then you got to relearn it all over.
Right, and you gotta come out of an agreement with a truth, with a you. It's like the scripture said, the righteous is delivered through knowledge. We're delivered. We receive when we get the knowledge. Is making the truth is making us free. So that story, when you finally get brave enough to hold that blue hand, and you be like, hold up, I ain't ready. I'm not ready.
I don't know who child believed this.
I'm telling you, or you kiss somebody.
But no,
This was a real thing. She don't.
And then you can't. It's like, and then sometimes being a teenager, breaking lessons.
Great question.
Is she out there?
I don't think so because he's broken.
Can you text your sister?
I have my phone.
Let me text her. Cause I closed the door. I didn't know he was.
I thought she was still out there with you.
Okay, so we are looking at the time, and I know we spent a lot of time.
You can ask a question.
You know,
One question.
no. See, yeah, we gotta start setting the timer.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You know,
You already was on there, so yeah, you asked Bias right here.
And one of those questions that you asked, would you consider it wrong to date more than one person? And that's one of the things that you said. You know, when you are looking for that, you know.
I would definitely say no, but only because it can be no, but you need to let those people know.
There it is.
So like I wouldn't do it just like, okay, I'm dating you and I'm dating you and I'm getting to know all these people. But it's like I'm open to this because I'm getting to know people right now, and it's nothing serious, it's nothing monogamous. But I'm gonna ask where are you trying to go with this? What's dating to you? Like, are you dating for marriage or are you here to waste my time?
Right. It's a social thing. It's a casual.
Yes, is it casual? Because if it's casual, I'm dropping you like a hot chocolate.
I would have to
What's
disagree.
a tamale?
Tamale.
It's hot. It's
Tomorrow, a hot one.
I would have to disagree. I say it's not wrong to date multiple people, but I also don't feel like I gotta tell them because this is the way that I think about it. Whenever you're going into dating or courting or whatever, you get to know somebody, you're not out the back saying, "Oh, we're dating," or "This is what this is." I can hang out with you. We could go get lunch, and we can do this, or we could do that, and it's not a big thing. But I'm getting to know you, and I'm getting to know you, and we can build a friendship. And then if it becomes something else, then it becomes something else. But if it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm really feeling this person, and I think this other person feeling me, and I'm gonna be like, okay, over here, I'm really feeling this person, so I won't like get your feelings involved and stuff. So just go.
So one of the words that I know in my time, I don't know what it is in you all's generation, but it's like you become exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, where that means that it's just wherever you was able to become, we're exclusively, we have decided that to pick and to date and to take this thing further.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been, you know, I had I didn't even call it dating. I just had friends that we would go out on a date. Mm-hmm. But then even then, the definition could get construed. Mm-hmm. Because I wasn't asking what's your definition of dating. Like you, just because you take me out to dinner doesn't mean that we're in a relationship.
Right.
And that's another thing.
I'm getting to know you, and then you have to be careful with that. Like I told you, I had one guy told me I belong to him, and I think I stayed in my dorm room a week. I was like, I know you're lying. Because I went out with some friends. Mm-hmm. He was like, it was I don't want to do his accent because I picked up. But he was like, were guys there? I'm like, yeah, it was girls and guys. What do you mean? Like, so he got like upset, like, cause there was guys that went out with us, and it was girls. So he was just like, I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I went out with some friends. He was like, you can't. I'm like, what you mean?
Who you talking to?
She was ready for that part. She been practicing for that.
I was ready.
Because of who?
Yeah, so, like, and he told me, he told me that I couldn't go out where there were other guys.
Hey, my daddy, that's my favorite line to use. That's my favorite line to use.
This is harder, but just imagine in my mindset, me even having an understanding that some young girl falls for that.
Yep.
And some of them like that and not understanding that that person is already showing a toxic form of behavior because they treating you like an item, not a person. Right. You never asked to explain were they friends or not. Mm-hmm. Or they could have been the husbands of the friend, you know, immediately, but you already needed for you to tell me that I belong to you. And the way you said it, I felt it. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at my blood like, hold up, because it's over. Like at this point in time, immediately, I see it, and I'm not gonna give you another chance to show this behavior because that you can't. When a person's showing you who they are, like they said, believe it. And that's the thing is that person was showing me who they were. Mm-hmm. So I really had to at that point believe what they were saying. Any of y'all had an experience like that?
Mm-hmm. And somebody would. Somebody said something crazy?
Crazy? In a relationship? I mean, you know, like, just any situation where you felt like a person was trying to hold you to a place that you didn't agree to. We never said we were in a relationship. I'm getting to know you and we were dating. We never made anything official. I ain't bad at held your hands. And you claiming me like I'm yours and I can't go out with my friends. Like, when did we get here? When did this happen?
Definitely. But I do want to add, it was a fling. So sometimes crossing the line too. And that I won't say lead them on because honestly, the conversations happen before that happens. So we've already come to agreement that this is what's going to happen and we're not together. But as soon as that happens, especially if it's something that they like, they off the road. They just like, yeah, this is what this is gonna be. But then you're like, nah, it can't be like that. What do you mean?
Y'all, I need to tell you, we're gonna have a meeting about sideboarding and taking corners in the conversation. Cause I've been around them long enough, so I know they code language. But the people don't know y'all code language.
Oh.
And some people, cause you don't want to. What she means, like once you cross the line of being intimate or having sex with somebody.
Oh, I
then,
gotta say the words.
Yeah, because I know your language, so I gotta make sure that the audience understands what you mean. Once you cross that barrier, then some people, they do gain a certain expectation. But you have to be real. A large part of the time is the women that increases that expectation. Like we didn't been here, so we together now. We together real bad. You and me, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? We together.
This is what this is. Like,
yeah.
Are we dating? Like, what is this?
What is this?
I used to ask that question all the time when I was younger. What is this? What are we? Cause.
But just think to ask that no. But just imagine how many women are asking that question after it's done versus before. Like you've had sex and now you're saying, so what are we?
It make people look at you weird.
What you mean what we is? We're the same thing we was before we did it.
But then what if the expectation, because you have to remember that intimacy is not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
And then
see, this is where conversations need to come in at. Because we need to start talking to people before we have sex with them. What you expect, what I expect, and we're gonna keep the Lord in the center of this.
But it's not always like that.
It's not always like that. That's true. That's true.
And
we're talking about
really it's like more of like an 80-20 if we're thinking of really how the world goes. Like outside of biblical knowledge and having the,
but
knowing God and all those things, that's how it is.
But this my thing. These are my thoughts, right? So conversations happen before we have sex with somebody, right? So we talking. I'm getting to know you a little bit. I know where I want it to lead. I'm asking you the questions. Do you desire a relationship? How long has it been since your last relationship? We asking questions about each other, right? No, I don't desire a relationship. I never had a serious relationship since I was 10 years old. The longest relationship I had was with my best friend Billy.
Girl, what?
And I'm like, okay, cool. You have sex with him. And then you look at him like, so what are we? He said, baby, my best friend Billy the longest relationship I ever had, so we ain't nothing. Bye.
Yeah.
That's my thought process.
Yeah, because they have their ideal of what. We need a mic. Pass the mic right there. Pass the mic. But that's one of the things that I'm saying is because that's once again I have an understanding what these things mean because sex to somebody, especially if that person is not in the word and understand intimacy and who God is and how it is to have a godly marriage and godly relationship, healthy relationship even before marriage, that they can see just sex as a passing goal. Or some people it's a mission. I had to share even with my daughter and other women I know that sometimes just having a woman to get to have sex with that woman is a chase. It's a pride. It's some men will tell you, and I say some men because all men are not like this, but some men will do whatever you can. They'll become the best believer. They'll be with you in church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Until you know what I'm saying? That's why we must guard our heart. Very important. And making sure that we utilize it. If we spent this time in this intimacy with God, that means we're now carrying gifts. So we are picking up a discernment and being able to be sensitive to, is this the right person? Or sensitive to God, and God say, maybe you need to run from this. You need to be silent. Or don't do this. So because you spent that time with God, now that another person is joining that relationship, it doesn't become as difficult because one, you see that there are wolves in sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? So you can read this person from a mile away. But sometimes it's not until we go through something that we even begin to get the verbiage or the language for it. You get what I'm saying? It's like until we go through the storm we don't really know what the sunshine until we learn to not to be loved, until you experience being loved wrong, that you don't know truly what it means, or even to be able to appreciate for a man to truly love and to cherish you. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes we want the strength, but we don't want the trial, or we don't want the situation. But without that situation, we would have never, not once seen, appreciated, or begin to have a language towards this. Now, this is what love is, you know, and then even understanding God's word of what it is to love, and what a husband, what to look for in a husband. Does he love me like Christ loved the church? Does he see me as his body? Because if he sees me as his body, he won't cause harm to me because he causes harm to himself. He'll treat me, he won't speak profane words to me because he's speaking profane words, and there's no life in these words. And those are the conversations, like when we're looking for a mate, and we talked about dating, when we're looking for those dates, you know, do we compromise on certain things? Man, he can cuss me out maybe once a week, but no more than that, you know. Or he can beat me, or he can beat me. But I'm just saying, or he can beat me, or he can be disrespectful, or you know, because we especially when we're in the process of waiting, and sometimes we become so impatient that we're willing to compromise our standards as believers. You know what I'm saying? So if he don't commit, he just cheat. Every once in a while, you start making excuses. He just cheated, and it's my fault because I'm not doing this, and all of these different things, and you begin to love those people more than you love yourself, because now you're going against the standards that God has told you and the barriers that you set for yourself as a person. I remember going into a relationship immediately. If I could not say if a man cussed at me. Now, some even to the point that they wouldn't even do around me. Like, you may say, but when it comes directly to me, like if you, when you set them and you stick with them, you know, they don't have, you know what I'm saying? If that person knows and understands, even if they do, they're going to start to begin to, she doesn't like this.
Even in friendships too, like I start to notice, like whenever I'm around certain people or whenever I'm around certain friend groups, like they'll let a cuss word slip when they're talking to each other, but then they'll be like, my bad, I ain't gonna let that slip like that. But it's like you gotta let people know how they could treat you.
Right.
Because somebody gonna treat you crazy if you let them treat you crazy.
Right.
But practice that in your friendships, because your friends gonna be like, so they gonna try to talk to you crazy. I'm gonna be like, hold up, don't talk to me like that. We gonna talk to each other like we love each other over here, okay? And then that's how you start to kind of build that muscle.
Right. So already in your friendships, I love the way she said that, because you build it in your friendships. So that means when you come to those deeper, then you already have the strength to be able to say, and even if you understanding this, because even in my marriage, dating my husband, I had to realize it was some point that I had to say that, like, I used to I gotta hide. He can't no longer go to church. He ain't gonna like me. You know, because me and my husband, we met at the club. You know, and celebrating my friend's birthday party. And she was 21, and you know where everybody want to go when they're 21. Shots? They want to go to the club. I ain't saying nothing about no shots. And they might have did so. but it's like everywhere. So everybody that wasn't 21 that came from the dorm had to go back. Everybody that was 21 and older went to the club. So that's where I met him at. But even in that process of him meeting them there, I was there, but I still had a relationship with God. I knew God. I wasn't an adamant, like I'm clubbing every night. I have been there, but at that point in time, I was in a better place in understanding who I was with God. So when I met him, I had that struggle between, you saw me in this light, but technically I'm here with friends. I'm not here like that. Yeah. So you met, and again, you gotta think, when I first, it was a whole bunch of us, and this controversy on how we met, I ain't going over that. Some people say we met in the club. I tell y'all my story. This is my story. I did not see him in the club. I saw him outside of the club. Thank you. So
she says.
But I wrote his number across my calendar. So when I got to class, it was like almost a month or so later. I had an assignment due on a certain date, and when I turned to that date, the paper was due. His number was across. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna call him and see how, see what he's up to, you know what I'm saying? But when you look at context of where he met, it made me, it made me quite a little bit uncomfortable to show my love for God. Will he really like me if he know that I'm a church girl, quote unquote? Or I don't do certain things, or I don't live, so then you it's there, but you kind of hide it. So you got to become to the point where you are so you have a relationship and you love God so much that even if I lose this relationship, it's okay because it's not for God. You get what I'm saying? Like if you walk away, I respected myself and honored myself and God. Even if you step away, you get what I'm saying? Because it's easier for you to step away here in the start of a relationship than me to compromise and be 5 years. Then God's voice becomes so loud that I'm struggling now in my faith and in my walk because I've allowed so many, I've allowed so much into my life. And you don't realize that we're not just allowing these emotions or spirits that we're releasing on ourselves. They're ideas. They're messing with our mental because the enemy tries to get us in our mind. You know what a man thinking so easy. So as he begins to feed us all of these, starting from a sickness is mental. They begin to manifest through diseases and all kind of different stuff in our body because we've moved ourselves out of line of the will of God. So I really like the way you did that spin on just gaining that strength in your daily relationships with people. So when you get to that spot, it's not a hard thing.
Sure. Okay, you go now.
You wanna know what's crazy though? Because even then, like, we definitely noticed the shift in how you talk to people. But sometimes, because, like you said, with friends, sometimes you don't do it with friends, and to everybody else, it's like, no, absolutely not. Because I know for me, it's like, no, I don't let guys or anybody I don't know just speak to me any type of way, but made it comfortable for family members and friends to be able to talk to me any kind of way until I started changing the way that I speak. So it's like, no, I don't want to hear that when we having conversations. You can't talk to me like that.
Setting boundaries. So you
and I've started setting boundaries. And so now, I'm talking to my brother and he like, oh my bad, I didn't even say that. And when he said that the first time, I was like, wow.
It
like,
works.
It worked. Because like you can clearly tell, like even with people around us, you can clearly tell, that it was difference in conversation. Like when he talks to us now, it's not the same way. Like there's not a curse word in sight. But when he talks to me, it's different. But that's because that's how it used to be. But now it's like, yeah, we can still be close. We can still have our close knit relationship and our, be best friends and all that. But now we can't talk to each other that way. It's different. So I'm holding myself accountable, but I'm also gonna hold you accountable because you can't talk to me like that.
Right. And that lets them, they already know. And I think that's one of the things that drew my husband is that I set those boundaries, that I didn't allow that compromise. You're gone away. I'm not like that girl that you meet and then all of a sudden you got a one night stand or you got all of these different things going on. It was the wait. And then that draws you closer to that person because you know that they are willing to wait, which also shows self-control, that they can control. And then they can stay in and commit. If you can commit, you begin to learn about that person before you open yourself up in such a way. You gotta the enemy always, if you can, I always see it like this, is like he's gonna throw all kind of smoke, your emotions, your feelings, all this smoke is in the room. But when you wait, the dust settles and you can see what's in the room. Initially, you cannot see, and I tell you, it's a chemical that's released in the brain. Oxytocin. Yes. No, dopamine. It's dopamine that's released in the brain that literally is that, like when you first fall in love, you don't see, you blind. Literally, it's a chemical release. You can't see no bad in that person. So you gotta be rooted and grounded, because if not, you're gonna find yourself compromising in such a way. You know what I'm saying? As you begin to date in this world. So if I was to ask you all a question, and as we're getting ready to get, close to our end, because I do want to make sure we hit, because we didn't hit them last week, and we do need to, we get comfortable, we get to conversing and talking. But if you were to say, in your experience in dating, if you were to rate it a 1 to 10, Daisha, what would you date? What would you rate it? A 1 to 10 being great, 5 being side, 1 being boy, leave me alone. Like, you know what I mean?
4.
A 4.
4 is crazy.
Can you explain it? I don't know.
They only want one thing.
Mhm.
That's it.
Right. I don't know, explain. Okay, we're done.
Oh, that was my turn.
So 1 to 10, what would you rate it at?
Why? I would probably say a 7.2.
What's the 7.2?
The 7.2 was because I've had experiences where it's like you really only want one thing from me, but like get out of my face. Like I'm not about to entertain that. But I've also had some like really good experience. Like the past relationship that I was in, it was a really good experience. So it's like I know that there's somebody out there that will treat me the way, like I'm not asking for too much. And somebody out there is going to be rooted in Christ. He's going to, like, if somebody of the world could treat me like this, just imagine if you're being led by Christ.
That's good. That's
like
preach.
how you can treat me. You know?
You preaching and you teaching.
7.2.
7.2. Y'all heard what she said? If I know somebody in the world can treat me like this, just imagine the man of God, he will to do even better. And that's facts. Big facts. Okay. I got excited.
No, I like that one too, period. Like, I always think about that, like, I really like to do now, like, imagine the one the Lord said will grow my ministry, will uplift me, will edify me, like, and so, I think the other way around, like, I like this person now, but imagine if I let them go and the wife for them, or uplift them, bring them up, build them up, so I'll be like, okay. I would rate it, really low. I would say like a 3. Yeah. No, seriously. I really I think I have more fun. I really to it the same way, but I don't know. I'd rather not date. I'd rather just like hang out and people be like, "Girl, you know that was a date?" What? Like, I didn't know that was a date.
She want to be psychic. No, ma'am.
Like, I would be clueless, but
That's what that is.
Y'all been hanging out for 5 months and you're like, oh, that was a date.
Duh. Did he make?
When I knew
That's
I
the
was
whole
gonna
conversation.
date, when I actually was dating intentionally, I don't know, I just felt so bounded. I wanted to go on a date. I wanted to go to get some Mexican food. But Mexican places, they tend to have this is a personal thing. This is a personal root there. But like I felt like I couldn't have fun. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I felt like I genuinely couldn't enjoy what the Lord has given to us because of their conviction, because of what the world does, because of what the world says. And so when it came to dating, you know, again, I love those truth theories, but at the same time, I know what God done for me. I know where I'm saved. I know I'm good. I know this won't do nothing for me. But seriously, and like I'll be good. I can watch a movie and I'll be good. I can do things and be good. So I was really limited because of lack of, I would say, weak spiritual side.
And that goes back to just having an understanding, like even Mom was talking about an understanding of a person's past and getting in relationships and experiencing things too soon. That's the same thing, you carry over that trauma into your relationship and that person becomes bound by your past demons. almost, or what you fight with. That's why it's okay that we have to clear our heart and get our heart and go before God and making sure that we're seeking God first in all things, so that when the add-ons come, that we're not destroying that thing or that thing is destroying us. And that's a conversation where someone, because of what they've experienced, they've closed themselves out because they think the thing that they did, like I say, sex in general, is not a sin. It's a beautiful thing that God has created. It's a kingdom between husband and wife. But because of the world has marketed it and has it out there, it is made it into. And then when a married couple go and enjoy and dance with each other, they like, that's because you see from a perverted lens. This I'm doing is legal. I'm good. I'm before man and God. We are 3-string card. My husband, and God. So you looking at me crazy. I'm giving you grace, and you looking at me crazy for something that I went before God, and we have came together as husband and wife. And that's the thing, is that when you're not careful, that person, you can be bound. You can be in a relationship where God is bringing you to a place where you can come in an agreement but be free, but you're not free. You know what I'm saying? So now you're dating that person and the 12 other people they dated. Or the 5 other, sometimes the 20 other people that they dated. I mean, realistically, I've heard somebody like, I don't even remember the name on the count. Like it's realistic. But realistically, that's the kind of world. And she said something very important, and it was very important because it was something that I dealt with initially. Because when I moved away, that I literally came in that mindset like, I didn't want to date because I knew, based off of my experience and the type of guys that I had experienced, all they wanted was sex. So I knew that wasn't what I wanted. And I went through the season of compromising, and I came out with so many wounds, and God had healed them, and I wasn't planning to go back. You get what I'm saying? So I was just like, I don't have nothing. And actually, when I came and I began to seek God first, that is when I met my husband. And even then, it wasn't like I've been playing and I've been writing the books and I've been writing my wedding story. It wasn't that, because it was sidetracked. I wasn't looking for it. He found the wife. It was already like he found the wife. So when I got to that point, I was in a place where I could see clear, a lot clearer than before. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I'm not doing this initially. I'm not doing, based off of what I did in my past. You get what I'm saying? Because there were seasons in my life that I was just like, Lord, like, y'all lying like this in the streets? Like, where you lying?
You can tell me the truth.
Just tell me if you, I respect you if you just say this is what.
Yeah, just like, I got 5 kids.
They don't know the difference, though. A lot of guys don't know the difference. They don't. So to them, it's like, that literally their focus is on that one thing. So in their mind, it's like, I'm gonna do whatever to get what I'm here for. They're not thinking about all of that stuff, because there's been times where it's like, dude, you could have just told me that, and then I could have gave you my answer. But a lot of times they don't want the rejection either.
Yeah, a lot of people fear rejection.
They fear the rejection. They don't want you to be like, oh no, I'm good. Because, and this something that happened recent too, because, but then again, I had to think about it because the boundary has already been crossed. But I've changed a lot. So it's like, now that I've changed and I've grown out of things and I've been set free from things and delivered from things, it's like, this is not where I want to be. I have different desires now, and I don't want this anymore. I'm not interested. And it has to literally be cut off. It has to be just that serious. It's like, no, I don't want this. Because
you can't play around with it. It's like,
yeah.
A lot of these things are, I know we're talking about it in some ways a superficial way, but a lot of this is spiritual. Because you have to think, even the marketplace, the industry, clothes, music, entertainment, constantly feed this. And they feed this ideal of having a baddie, having a dime, having a woman look at carrying a certain way, looking at it. So they're constantly, and they're gauged to, be sexual promiscuous because that's what the market is selling. So in their mind, this is normal. And they grow up in houses that don't ever, that spirit ever deliver that or cast it out. So that becomes who they are as individuals, and they go from relationship to brokenness to, and that's why you see murder, suicides. If I can't have you, because the dependency level becomes so much. You know, when they find or they switch, they put down the drama of all the loss and the trauma to pick you up, and if I can't, you're all that I have.
Right.
This women, man and woman. You know, this can be on both extremes. You know, and I'm not losing this. I couldn't control before because if you lost of a parent, loss of another relationship, you can't. Those are uncontrollable factors. But what I can control as much, I'm going to control it as much as possible. So you're not going nowhere. You're gonna take me as I am. I'm gonna treat you like I. You know what I'm saying? It's those are a lot of times. These are not just a person. These are spirits operating in the person. You got to think of what does it bring? Are you bringing me joy? Is this true love according? Is it patient? Is it love? Is it kind? All those things according to what love says. Are you moving with the fruit of the spirit? Are you long suffering? Are you willing to wait for me? When I'm saying I don't want to be intimate or have sex, are you showing the attributes of the spirit? Are you being gentle? Are you being faithful? You get what I'm saying? In conversation, what does faithful mean? All some kind of, I mean, all of these things are topics because it's so many. And I know that we're over time, but some of these things are and we're getting to some of the real tough topic areas of this because they have women who are right now, you know, in relationships, and they have in those relationships and they found themselves even feeling a part of I'm broken, I feel happy but I don't feel happy, or if I don't wear this or have this, then I can't be happy, or if I'm not with someone that's doing this, like they literally become slaves to an idea, the expectation of what somebody can be. And if I can tell you anything in a marriage is you don't want to become married or in a relationship with the expectation of who somebody can be. Oh, he can be a good person, but he's not one right now.
Right.
He's not representing. So what if that expectation is never met? You know, there's some things that my husband used to do, like as far as, you know, smoking, and this is stuff that people know in general. God never had to change that. And when I said I do, technically I signed up if he never changed. By the grace of God, those things he did. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm looking for this person in a relationship, you have to be hard enough. Some things that you know that you're not willing to compromise. And then also we said that don't make a list that you ain't meeting.
That too.
I don't want him to have an attitude, but you got a full attitude. I want him to have good. Who said it?
Say it.
But that's such a big thing, like, and nobody's having that conversation either. It's like, yeah, I have this list of what I want this man to look like, what I want him to have. He got to make 6 figures. He got to have this type of car. He got to have his own place. But ma'am, you still work at McDonald's, driving your Hyundai. You don't have an apartment. You living with your mom.
Your credit score is 4.12. You know what I'm saying?
4.12. What?
I had to put a point for you. 0.2. I had to keep up. But you get what I'm saying? You all the way.
4.12. I just realized what she said. Oh my gosh, not 4.12. 4.12. What's they doing?
She's hot, y'all. She's
No, that's real though, because it's like, how do I expect you to be? First of all, I said I don't ever want you to ever raise your voice at me. Yeah, I'll be yelling at you, so I'm sorry.
See, so your
Sometimes you gotta check
expectation.
yourself too. I had to start checking myself. I stopped asking of those things once I started really working on myself, and I had to do a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of it, a whole lot of oats.
Wow.
I had to do a lot of self-reflecting because I'm like,
You got it. A lot.
how you going and you're not doing this? How you gonna tell me to do? But then I had to look at self too. I was like, hold on, I don't have this and I don't have this together, and I'm still learning and I'm still going through things and I'm still being delivered from things and I'm still being set free from things, and God's still showing me my heart. So why can't they still be going? Why can't they be going through the process too? Like, I'm still going through the process. He's still making me. He's still molding me. But he's still molding them too. You gotta let them go through the process as well. But, I mean, sometimes people don't want to have to wait for that.
But and see, that's the thing, is that's a big thing. Is some people say, well, you say that they're going through their process, but yet, so do you be with them into you get what I'm saying? Why they, you know what I'm saying? Like some people in it, they say, well, I'm going through a process and they're going through a process, but two dysfunctionals are not.
It ain't gonna just be a functional relationship.
It ain't gonna be a functional.
And then that's you having to use your brain. Like
that's discernment. That's where your spiritual gifts taking place of knowledge, of wisdom, of understanding, of how to see without literally seeing. We have either we can see. He said, enlighten the eyes of our understanding, meaning that there are some things, and if I can see with my ears and hear with my eyes, there's a deeper level to this thing, you know. So if I am not spending that time, as Proverbs say, seek first. I think it's Proverbs 3:6. The kingdom of God and all His righteousness.
That is Proverbs.
No, that's not.
No,
It's also in Proverbs.
It said, no, we're not in order to say the knowledge is knowledge. Give me
And He will direct your path.
That's in.
Not that is in.
That's one of the.
Yeah, that's acknowledging Him. Let me see.
But that's one in Proverbs.
Pull it up.
You want a patient man?
Look, I ain't say nothing about patience because blame him. I'll tell you something. Okay.
Let's see if we can get it. See first.
Matthew 26 and 33. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
That's Matthew 6 and 33. Matthew 6 and 33.
Is it?
Is it really?
Yes.
I just came up with that.
Matthew
That's
6
the
and
Holy
33.
Spirit.
But Proverbs is a really good one because that's when acknowledging Him, like in all of our ways, in our dating. Are we acknowledging God in our dating? Are we acknowledging Him? Are we acknowledging Him in like in our hurt, in our pain, in our broken? Sometimes in experiencing those relationships, are we acknowledging God in those moments, or our desire to, Lord God?
So what that look like?
What you mean?
Acknowledging Him.
Acknowledging
in your
Him.
hurt, in your all that stuff.
Acknowledging Him is saying, Lord God, I know in this moment that I'm hurt, but I believe in your word that you know that you are making me free through process. I believe, Lord God, you said that you will mend the brokenhearted. I believe in your word. You begin to, I am acknowledging you in this pain. Yes, it hurts, Lord God, but you said if I acknowledge you in my pain, Lord God, I'm hurting. He begins to direct your path immediately because you've acknowledged Him in that moment. We acknowledge medicine, because some people, to get that peace of that, alcohol, some people continue to be promiscuous because of these things. They acknowledge a certain, because they're trying to find a way to heal, and they're trying to seek direction, but you can't. Or have a distraction, something or somebody. I'm constantly, from person to person, phone to phone, stuff like that.
You know one thing? You know one thing that, because I was scrolling on TikTok one time, and somebody was like, how many times do you pray whenever, you have a situation that go on in your life? And versus how many times do you pick up your phone and scroll TikTok? And I was like, dang, I really do be scrolling on TikTok. And I'm just like, whatever, it's just whatever going on, I'm just scrolling on TikTok. So what I started to do is, something would be going on this week, a lot be going on. So I'll pick up my phone and I'll start scrolling. I'll be like, ooh.
You acknowledge, and then
I'm like, dang, what the heck?
But then what you replace it with, if you're in that moment, if you're acknowledging him in that moment, because sometimes you got to think, because they're replacers. That's how one person can go from one addiction to the next, a negative addiction, because they don't replace that thing with God, or allow God to begin to mend that part of their heart, or to heal them in their brokenness. They just switch from one thing to another. So yes, you're free from here, but you're bounded now in another place, because that's the enemy wants to keep you in those cycles. It's a continuous cycle, and it is, some of them they're from relationship to relationship, and something's wrong with every person they dated, but nobody ever do the work. They say, man, I've been with 5 people, I done broke up with 5, like, so all 5 of them crazy?
It gotta be them. Like, it's not me at all. Like, it gotta be them. I'm sorry. Like, I'm perfect. I don't know what y'all doing.
Okay.
Like, why all y'all
What's the scripture that says we all have fallen?
Cause when I opened it, I saw me.
I know we're in this is the late night. This is the extended late night because we're still talking. Even if y'all wasn't on here, we would still be having a discussion. So we're just inviting you all a little bit into this one. But that's the thing. So God says, "Seek first His kingdom." That's right.
Don't look at it. Who's a robber? It's Matthew 6:33.
Yours, Matthew. Like Sprint, it's Sprint. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye, you're right. So, but seek the kingdom of God in all things.
But what? So let's just move. Everything in life that we're taught, all of these different things. Do we really I'm gonna ask this question and honestly, have you all sought God first before asking for But I'm just saying, did you have a matter of fact before you No, I mean not your recent one, but in your history in life. So did you have a relationship with God first before seeking a man or dating? You get what I'm saying? But now knowing what you have now, like you said, you can see your eyes, you can see it clear. And your time of staying in something is not the same because of your sensitivity now. You know, because when I initially started dating, the last thing I was going to God is seeking Him first. But that's what the principle oriented word of God says, seek Him first.
But a lot of people like that. I don't care about like that's how a lot of people think.
Do you have a why would God not? Okay, and that's it. So if God isn't caring, and He says all these things that He has plans for us. That's saying He's saying the word is not true.
But this is my thing. When I have conversations, and like I would say stuff, and I don't think twice about whenever I be like, just ask Jesus, just pray. I don't think I care about, this situation. I don't think I care about this. And I'm like, He created me. He don't care about your head.
right now. But I want you all to pick up and I want you all to see it, write these scriptures down and read them. Because this is like entering into you all. Because when the next time you are in the process of dating or relationship, these things will come to your remembrance and you remember these scriptures. Also, if you're watching, because some of you have been seeking relationship with people, but you haven't been seeking relationship with God. So when you find yourself being blinded by life situations, you're wondering why you're blinded, because you have no sensitivity in the spirit realm. Your flesh, your spirit man is weak, but your flesh is gaining control, and we can't allow our flesh to have, because our flesh will lead us into brokenness, broken friendship, brokenness, mental health, just hurts.
Oh, you can say that all the time, like what you feed.
Yes.
So it's like you keep giving your flesh what it wants. If you tell your girl go do this, go do that, drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, have sex with the person, and you just doing it, and then God looking at you like, you see, all this bitch supposed to be dwelling in you, and you ain't even speaking.
And that's a lot of that comes from not understanding Christ died, and a lot of us, okay, Christ died for me, I'm saved, I have salvation, I am justified. But they don't understand the process. Like he said, it's urgent that I go be with the Father. Because there was a new comforter coming down. This is where they mix. We have a I don't think I shared this with this group. How many of y'all have a favorite actor? I think I did share that. You have a favorite actor. You know everything about them, or singer. You know everything about them. Some of y'all boyfriends about some people. You're like, oh, I like it. And you know everything not about the artists and singers. Stuff like that. It's simple. Some of y'all, I'm not gonna tell you. But you know, but just because you've seen and you know their birthday and they signed and who they used to date and who they met and all that, don't mean if you walk up to their house, they gonna let you eat. Right? Like who you did. Knowing something doesn't give you intimacy. Spending time with God gives you intimacy, and intimacy gives you access. And the thing is, even in you all, if I say intimacy, knowing somebody, knowing, getting to know them, is giving them access. We even, if you even take it even deeper, that might be a jump ahead. Like even getting intimacy and being in sexual relationship with somebody is giving somebody access. Read it.
It's good. And then I'm gonna read the King James Version. So
failed the test because I wasn't strong enough, because I didn't fortify myself with God, which is my strength, where my strength comes. And so when I failed that test, I didn't conceive a child, but I conceived anxiety. I conceived depression. You know what I'm saying? It began to grow. We're like a little baby, inside of a little baby. And then it began to grow. Now it's grown. Now it's 18 and mature. Now it's really grown up to be what in my own mind. You know what I'm saying? You gonna feel this way. You gonna be free. Now I'm worried about if somebody call me back. Before I didn't care. You get what I'm saying? I didn't worry about, if you came or you called me this week or you called me that. Now I'm literally in a space because I've given someone access to me, which they should never. That's like letting a stranger into your house. If you don't let anything, they always like, I don't let no stranger in there. But what about your body? Like, why are we so concerned? We're so conservative in the world when it comes to people accessing us and we're setting barriers to us. We become, it's okay. We want to play around in that area. So, all of this in dating, I hope you and those who are watching, and I know like I said, y'all can go back, kind of going back and forth, just breaking this thing of dating down and making sure you all know that this is dating means something for each person. It is very important when you enter into, when you're mature enough to know this. That you know what it is. That way you know what to expect from it, or the different definitions of it sometimes. Even if you don't know their definition, know what your meaning is and be able to communicate what it means to you, to them, and see if that's something that they are willing to do. He's talking about those intimate details. But I want to, and I'm here for this. You may say for the sake of just letting them know that we're not, and I'm talking about from the aspect of being intimate. That's not, will always allow them to use, especially when is that person idea of being intimate sexually. So that way I can say, but don't give them a list of, I like this, I like the way you put the coffee sitting in a certain way, you bring it a certain, you give it all the stuff, everything. So they're going to try, that's the way it's going to put on, it's going to put on the outfit, so you don't see that it's so real, it's going to be comfortable. I'm telling you.
I heard that before. So I just stopped telling people.
Then you want to see
Because I'm like, I like till I believe that. I'm like, okay, well, this is what I believe, you know, and this is what, you know, the Bible tells me. And that's what, you know, I walk. And they're like,
So what they doing all day for? Like, they heard they, why you use the Christian when you said that the reason I didn't think you said that you were believing, especially a lot of new age, I just wanted to some of what God showed me in regards to, and then even in the time when God touched your heart, sometimes God puts you. You know, there's a lot of places in the Bible that people cried out to God, and they cried out to God for the people, and God sent them. Like, hold up, I just said that they needed help.
what else?
You know, we got Gideon, we got Moses, we got so many people that God, you know, they were just, you know, crying out for the people, and God was just like, okay, I'm gonna send help, and then he was like, it's you, you know. So you have to be sensitive to even there because you're there, you have access. You see, I say all the time, like, my friend, you have access. That's common for you, not for me. Why are you messaging me?
Somebody talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they're your friends and God has put them in your, but that's when you begin to grow. Because sometimes you're not looking to argue God because there's no need to argue. He's undefeated. So I don't need to argue who he is, but all I do is I sit a truth before you because I know the truth makes you free. And as you begin to look at this truth, it's gonna do exactly what it's gonna begin to make you free. Like God is talking about when it comes to peace, he gives us a peace that passes. You don't need to go around and put it in smoke or say, like all of those things that if you become dependent on something to heal you or to give you peace or to give you the fear, that thing is becoming an idol to God in your life. Because that's what God is supposed to do. That's what we receive through Jesus Christ, that access, you know, with the Holy Spirit now dwelling within us. So if you're looking for anything outside of him, then that thing becomes your God. You know what I'm saying? conscious of not putting that person before God, that sometimes you dismantle the ability to gain a relationship or to build a relationship with that person because you go single in a time and I don't know if it's the same a time and you sensitive enough to that person may need they're trying to go together with you. Not, I don't know, find another way to phrase it because you allow fear to input itself one anytime. That's how he always operates. He always operates so now you're in a relationship and you're constantly like you gotta prove that you're not God or I'm not putting you in it. It becomes such a super trigger. No Bible is open, but yet God is still looking down into it.
So what's the difference between having and
What's the self-sabotage?
So having
Is there
like I
no fear of the Lord? You know what I'm saying? The spirit is a measure of the spirit of who you have. The knowledge of God and the fear of the Lord, not circumstances, not situation. I fear I'm going to lose this car. I fear I'm going to lose this relationship. It says fear of the Lord, meaning that.
no, that's what I mean. Like,
Okay, I'm just trying to make
where
sure.
is it from a place of being so paralyzed by fear to where you self-sabotage by having like a healthy fear?
But you have to give me an example.
Okay, so I know that God has,
You present
I know that God has, right? And I know that God has, He's given me this relationship.
okay.
He's given me this relationship, right? And I know that, but I know that I don't want to step outside. He's called us to live this way. He's called us to do relationship this way. And I know that if I step outside of that, that won't be inside of it. What is the difference between that and also being like, okay, but I don't want to do nothing. You know, like I don't want to cause no
Anything that still takes you out of compromise. That's not the way it's to one man relationship, no relationship at all. You've closed an area that God has made abundant and made the enemy has allowed you to make something good, evil, or bad, or that's how you know. You know because something that is meant and established to be something to grow you. It's just a beautiful thing. Family, children, all those things that God has all even beginning when we first called the Israelite life, He began to establish it. And even if it was the end of time, He said, you see all kinds of people, nature's kindreds, the tribe of Judah, all of these things are definitely. So if something tries you, it's like you want to throw away the baby with the water. But the baby is Israel. Throw out the baby with the bad water. So that's it. If the enemy made me feel afraid, I need to throw out the baby and the bad water. And I'm empty. Like an empty set like the baby. Sometimes just sitting with yourself and having those conversations, God, this is what you want, and this is what I experienced. So now I just don't want it at all because that's not a God thing. He's not gonna put you in the he said he covered our sins, past, present, he's not. When you do something, he's not no longer off the kid. It's already covered. Now I'm telling my mom, I'm telling you this doesn't mean that you go out. And because God desires for us to live a life of righteousness, and he desires for us to live a life that's according to his, what he says his commandments, I love one another. Love is not when you follow that one, we can take it with all the other commandments. But to think in that mindset means that you're not receiving the grace that was given to Jesus Christ because he knew you, not us. He knew that we. It was a joke.
Somebody be like,
Cut clip.
they gonna be like, this one right here. This start 30 seconds.
Because she, so they sit in a room and they're saying only she can. But you know what I'm saying? That he did it for us because he knew that we would deal. And not only just that, you know, we would struggle with groups of people. And we would struggle with individuals trying to take church, take our, you know, our innocence from us and try to. That's why he had certain things that he said, even how he feels towards his children. And that's just not just children of God, but even little children, because they're in their innocence for those who try to take advantage of those type of things. Or somebody when they're not at full capacity, elder, that's not in the ability to fight, you know, not mentally there like they necessarily should be. Anybody that takes advantage of those, you know, God doesn't like that at all. So, we don't want to enter into a sect because at the same time, when you have an intimacy with God, God don't even, when you get to some point, he don't have to come in and be like, oh, you know, you're going to listen. There's going to be something that God is going to do. And we're going to get out there, your voice, I can't wait to just, the day is just, I just want to give to my room and just fall on my knees. No, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're just so desirous. So that's like almost something in you. God ain't gotta, because you gotta remember he's in you. You know what I'm saying? He's in you. That's what a lot of people are like, no, you worried about God doing something. He with you everywhere. He saw what you did. He saw what they did. He sees. You know, he sees it.
You already knew it just because the lights off.
You think that problem? He's like, yeah, whatever.
And I didn't want to get too bogged down in scripture. I didn't want to get scripture, but I wanted to really land on that seat first and then acknowledging God. I have hope of acknowledging God in everything we do. In our dating, we acknowledge God. No matter what we do, we seek God first because the add-on is that spouse. The add-on are those, the home, the car, all of those things. The horse. I never said those are add-on, but we come to a point in time in life where people are seeking the things or the hand of God before just, yeah, they want, and they gotta realize that you're good, but you know what he is doing because, you know, the blessings of God without, it says not, the scripture is, they added no sorrows. So if you were in there
Proverbs 10, blessings of the Lord and make him rich
See first again, guys, Matthew. So you wrote it in there? Next time you all, we gonna try to speak to our, because we want to do a little bit at a time. We don't want to over. I know we, because we used to, you know, we go because, but everybody, you know, not gonna give it to them. Yeah, that's good, because it's like we rolling, you know, questions being hard. But it's so much, especially when it comes to dating. It's so bad. You know, it's kind of hard to kind of break down into it. And that's one of the things too, is that sometimes we have to watch it. Until we spend no time, God really needs to because we are in the industry that always if it's too long, if you come in and you leave, that's fine. But what needs to be released, because it's not just for them, it's for us as well. God is speaking to us, He's reminding us of something. But I appreciate you all watching us tonight. We will be back on next week, same time, 8:30. Make sure that you drop any questions or any topics that you want us to discuss and talk about. Make sure you leave them in direct messages or you can drop them in the chat. We want to kind of see where you all are. And if you know any young adults, you know anybody that is dealing with any area of dating, this is something we really need to pass on, because the reason that because we're really struggling. I'm seeing individuals in relationships, I'm seeing social media, everybody's talking about relationship goals. Because when women don't realize what reality is, we're seeing all of these online couples, but we don't realize sometimes when these cameras goes off, some things are really going to happen. And we fall in love with the ideal of marriage, but truly, if you really know, or the ideal of dating, truly those are the moments that make us in a relationship. The strength of a relationship comes from the struggle. So if you're just showing me good, that's not a strong relationship. It's not realistic, because it says the trying of our faith. The trying makes us strong. So if you want a strong relationship, know that relationship is hard to try. So if you're constantly just showing me the good, not saying that you have to show me your weakness and your struggle, but if a person is watching this and don't know that these people, that this is not true reality, they're only showing you, bringing you to a part of their relationship. Immediately when they get in a relationship or marriage, they try, they're always getting divorced because it doesn't look like this couple that's on YouTube, or look like this couple on Facebook, or we're not happy and joyous like this all the time, etc., etc. You know, I can't tell you how many relationship gurus and how many people online that you've seen do reality shows, how a lot of them are not ready, they're tied up in disputes and divorce wars and all that kind of thing. And you never hear these things, and then they share the story of what's going on. And I'm not saying that all of them are like that, but I'm saying that a lot of them are. You know, they're in an trials are making you stronger and it's helping you to elevate. But they're also in a storm but have no peace. You're in a storm but you have access to peace. You experience loss but you still can gain joy and hope. But they're experiencing loss and feel they lost all hope. And they're in a state of, of constant turmoil. When you're in a state of, you know what I'm saying? So there are things that come when God gives us over to a faith mind, which is the top of itself, or gives you over to, when you're living certain lifestyles, certain things come from it. That's why I'm saying if you see this person is doing this, and if it's a violent person, when you see something happen violent to a person, like why would you be surprised? Because it's the lifestyle. It's what they pray and it doesn't justify it. But I'm just saying, you play around with apples and you play apples all day, you get apples. So as we begin today, that's why I'm talking to this generation. There's a lot of verbal abuse going on in this day. And this is where it gets real. I know it's going to return, but this is where sometimes things are really getting released. Girls are being talked to, they're disrespected, they're talking to guys in any kind of way. They're putting their hands on each other, which is a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? They're being sexually promiscuous, active, even when they haven't even developed cognitively the ability to rationalize whether this is a good or perfect right. They go from cycle to cycle till they become numb to it. They become the perpetrator. There's so much going on in the area of, we call it dating by definition, but theirs is also in the relationship is called the same thing. You get what I'm saying? And as much as we laugh, somebody's true reality is if he ain't hitting, if he ain't turning tables over and cussing me out, he don't love me. That's somebody's true reality. Like if you ain't going hard, and there's TikToks and videos that are actually confirming this. If he ain't did this, if he ain't if he pulling it out on somebody else, how long will it be before he pulls it out on you? You know what I'm saying? If he's sitting up here and doing this kind of behavior, or he cheated on her, because I'm fine, like you so fine, he ain't gonna do the same to you. It's a false reality. Like you hold something that some other woman had. If he has a cheating heart, when he gets with you, you think your stuff is so good, and your outfit and your looks are so beautiful. I can tell you some of the most beautiful women in the world and good in their mind, but they can't maintain a relationship who are being cheated on and all that kind of stuff, not because necessarily for them, because of the mindset of some men. And even in that case, some of their mindsets. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, but every situation is developed on that situation. But it is a strong issue that we are dealing with. And some people feel like if we're not having sex or being intimate, we're not in a relationship. Baby, you're 12. No, this is real. This is real. 12 is high in this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and guys, and boys, if you're not doing certain things that we are not considered together. And then if you add in this misinformation with loss of supervision in the homes, you wonder why teenage pregnancies and STDs and all these things continue to happen. Or even to the point of a girl dealing with a relationship where she opened herself up to somebody, but that person left and now she's dealing with the mental side of it. Now her hope is her grades are falling. She's dealing with things she gotta work on. She gotta work her job even when in the season where she should only have to focus on work because she has to conceive. So look apart to pull a man that's truly really not worth her time. This is a real thing. She's working a job so she can maintain a look those things? Is it in it? Is it a good thing? Is it a good expecting in all of these different things? If it doesn't line up with it, then something's off. You get what I'm saying? That some people are willing to give their child over to the world so they can live in a relationship. flesh is not gonna want to do this initially, but initially it's gonna, it says the flesh will always be flesh be flesh, but the spirit be spirit, spirit is spirit. So just imagine, like, we got y'all been had part of the lifetime a couple times to make a move, and a few will come. But because of the lack of discipline, and I'm saying this because this is gospel that God has spoken to me, even to the point of picking up this lie, because these are things that God has been. He said, I gave you the power. I gave you these bad things, not to sit behind or a phone, not to become so busy with my, mundane. And it's gonna be a couple of nights of you losing sleep to get the idea of the logistics done. But once you got it done and you're running, you're gonna realize you don't have to spend as much time. It's just, all of those things, like going back to what you were saying, have those balances between all the, not to get such thing as balance, concerning what you like, I could be doing something right here and I immediately say, well, she already did. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get up and they can say that I'm so we pass notes about food. We're not, it's my hungry last night. That's a great number. We're gonna because someone in the world needs this and they need to move from a sin consciousness to a God consciousness. So I thought you pray for him to go ahead. We don't have shit. You do?
I was just kidding.
Alright, so we want to break through and we want to be in God's light. So as we close, I want you